Earls here. Thanks for coming on today's episode. This week, like every week, I'll be talking about natural living and healthy tips that will get you to rethink how you live and what products or habits you can easily change to better your life. So let's get started. Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's Urban Wisdom. Well, I have a really fun recipe for you. It's called Easy Homemade Peppermint Bark. Now, there is so much to do around the holidays, so it's nice when you find a recipe that's easy yet appropriate. And by appropriate, I mean it fits the flavors of the season. Now, some of you may think, well, homemade peppermint bark isn't very healthy, and you're right. At the same time, I like to give the kids a little break from eating Brussels sprouts. Yes, there are healthy recipes, and I would suggest adding many to your diet during the holidays as people tend to overeat and intake more sugar than is necessary. Moderation is key to everything in life, and this is the reason I'm posting a little bit of sweetness today. This recipe is from Ruth Sokup, and besides tasting good, these treats make the perfect gift or sweet to bring to a holiday party. Ready to start? Fantastic, me too. So the ingredients are 25 unwrapped candy canes, 2 12-ounce bags milk chocolate chips, 2 11.5-ounce bags semi-sweet chunks, 4 12-ounce bags white chocolate chips, a 1/4 teaspoon peppermint vitality essential oil, or 1 teaspoon peppermint extract, which is optional. Now the instructions. Start by unwrapping a pile of candy canes, then place them in a large Ziploc bag. Put that Ziploc bag within a second Ziploc bag. Broken candy canes are sharp, so you want to double up on the bag so it doesn't come through. Then break the candy canes into small pieces. I used a rolling pin to smash them. Now cover 3 cookie sheets for a large batch with non-stick foil or wax paper. Boil water in a double boiler. Since I don't have a double boiler, I use a bowl over a saucepan, which worked just as well. Now fill the water to just below the bowl, but not touching the bowl. Slowly melt the chocolate chips, stirring frequently. I discovered it works better to mostly melt one bag before adding the next bag, rather than dumping them all in at once. Now spread out the chocolate on the foil-covered cookie sheets. It should be fairly thin, approximately 1/8 inch thick. Place cookie sheets in the fridge to harden for about a half an hour. Now, while the chocolate layer is cooling, rinse your bowl or double boiler pan and repeat the melting process with the white chocolate chips. If desired, add a 1/4 teaspoon peppermint vitality essential oil or 1 teaspoon peppermint extract to the melted white chocolate for extra pepperminty flavor. Now spread out the melted white chocolate in a layer over top of the brown chocolate while it is still wet. Quickly sprinkle on the broken candy cane pieces. Place in the refrigerator to harden completely about an hour. Now once the bark has hardened, break into pieces by hand, then place into cellophane bags. To seal the bags, cut pieces of holiday scrapbook paper into 4x4 squares, then fold the squares in half. Fold over the tops of the cellophane bags a couple of times, then staple the scrapbook paper over the fold. If desired, print labels to glue onto the scrapbook paper. Now, you guys, since I'm not a big fan of plastic, I prefer to place the broken pieces into different size mason jars and put a ribbon or note using cardstock on top. If you're keeping them for yourself, it's still nice to store them in a jar. Just be sure they have cooled completely. Beyond that, all that's left to do is eat them in moderation. Now, I hope this homemade peppermint bark kickstarts your baking and makes it a little easier to enjoy your Christmas and the true reason for the season. Until next week, you guys, enjoy and stay healthy and free. Thanks for listening to today's episode of Urban Wisdom and Natural Living. Tune in next week where I'll broadcast live every Monday morning at 8 a.m. If you miss it live, hold those tears and head on over to my blog, which is heatherearls.com. That's Heather, EARLES.com. There you can have 24/7 access or right here on iTunes. If you want to follow me on social media, you'll find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. Have a healthy week.